Welcome everyone, welcome. We'll be starting in just a few moments. Get yourself settled. Grab a pen, paper, warm beverage. Welcome. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Let's jump in, shall we? All right. Okay. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to jump straight into this presentation. Let's go here and here. Great. Okay. I am going to welcome you all for taking the time to learn a little bit more today. It's going to be an exciting masterclass. I'm quite excited to bring this to you. It's been a terrific journey putting all of this online and being able to reach so many people. I hadn't really thought that I would be doing this online. I loved my in-person lectures so very much. And I'm thrilled with the response we've had this year, putting everything online and the distances we've been able to reach from Northern Alberta through BC, the US, and down into Colombia. It's been very exciting. So I welcome you here today, and I'm really, really honored that you've taken the time. I would like you to invite you to let your household members know that this time is your time. And for the next hour or so that you'll be with us, learning and growing. So ask them to set their needs aside so that you can learn to nourish and flourish. Today, we'll be talking about this body type and hormones effect in this masterclass. And you'll learn why and how your body has its unique shape. I hope you'll be excited to learn some tidbits of information and that you'll have your notebook and your pen handy so that you can write down that which is important to you. So who am I and how did I get to sharing this time with you? Well, that's a great question. My first career was as a ballroom dance professional. Yes, I used my communication studies degree to communicate through dance. I had a great 15 years teaching children through seniors, families, wedding couples, and Hollywood actors. My work was seen on stage, on film. I taught in studios. I taught private classes, groups, and I loved all of it. It was fantastic. My life moved on. I married, gave birth to a beautiful baby boy, and there was a pressing question. What do I feed this little human when the milk runs out? So, necessity being the mother of invention, I answered the clarion call. And I did it in my particular style, which is dog to a bone, down a rabbit hole, type A all the way, which is really great news for you because I have a lot of information stored and experienced ready to share with you. So coming from a farming family, I saw the old farming practices with new eyes. I went back to my roots and then some. Really, I did. I sourced all of my vegetables from my growing family and my meats from local farmers and ranchers whom I met personally. Yes, I met the cow who gave her milk for my son, and I walked the land she lived on. I visited every farm we bought from. Yes, of course, we shopped from the grocery store. Calgary does have its winters, and I became very selective about what I bought and from where with what I had learned. I bring all of this information to you. 2 years later, I enrolled in my first nutrition program. I studied holistic nutrition and graduated with honors. I was traveling, chasing heirloom garlic and rounding up heritage breed chickens in Italy with like-minded souls, and really enjoying all of this agricultural experience from the new eyes as I learned more and more about regenerative agriculture and how it so very much influences the regenerative capacity of our human bodies. I was well served by my own research when a tragedy occurred. I ended up in hospital. Yes, I started learning from the other side of the desk as the patient. A long story cut short, I wasn't expected to survive. The estimate was 1%. Needless to say, I pulled through, and much credit has been given to the health that I had going into that emergency. What was it, you ask? Well, I arrived after seizures. They discovered a brain tumor, and there were some complications there in the emergency room. So 2 surgeries later, I left the hospital. It was a long road. However, I made use of it. It took me down south to California, and I met an amazing functional medicine doctor named Datis Karazian. He inspired me so very much and encouraged me to actually pursue my studies in functional medicine. So I transferred everything I knew and upgraded my knowledge in this whole new world called functional medicine, and came to bring functional nutrition to Calgary. I'm one of 2 colleagues here in Calgary. We started out together in the program at the Institute for Functional Medicine, and it's been a wild ride. I love it. I get the science, I get the details, I still get my hands in the dirt, and I get to be of service to lovely souls such as yourself. So I went on and studied a little bit further. I trained in the gut and psychology syndrome, and then opened up this practice online as a clinical practitioner in natural nutrition and nutritional therapist. So that is me. Today, we're going to go through this masterclass, and it's my desire that you too become inspired with a few simple steps to nourish your body, to flourish in your life as you were intended to do. These steps that we're going to go through, the 7 pillars, will get you to permanent, safe, and rapid weight loss without any pills, no fad diets, or crazy hours at the gym. There are a lot of misconceptions about weight and human health, a lot of information meant to make a dollar rather than create health for you. My goal here is for you to be healthy and have what we call a longer health span. More than a long lifespan, we want to focus on the vibrant health as well. One of the ways to ensure a better quality of life is by ensuring that you have healthy cellular operations or metabolic function. The easiest way to know if your metabolic function is working properly is to look at body shape. A body with excess adipose tissue or body fat represents excess energy, and for whatever reason, your body is not utilizing it to the best of its potential. The body is sending signals to store energy instead of using it as fuel. So if you have excess body fat and still struggle with the low energy, we have the key for you to unlock that stored energy. If you have this paradox of having the stored energy and lack of energy in your daily life, then that tells us you likely have a metabolic issue. Now, it shows itself as a weight problem, but these are 2 different issues, and I want to differentiate this because all progress starts by telling the truth. So if you're misinformed by what your actual problem is, you cannot get to the underlying mechanisms of what is going on, as you look for the answers in all the wrong places, because these are 2 very separate issues, weight issue or metabolic issue. Okay, so today we're going to discuss the functional medicine approach that I love so much. Functional medicine is known as root cause medicine or upstream medicine. It asks, why? Why does this body show high blood pressure and weight gain? Why is my cholesterol high? Why does my mother have dementia? I enjoy this all so very much. It combines my savvy skills as a private investigator. Yes, I did do that too, with my love of agriculture and human health. In the functional medicine model, nutrition is the first prescription, and it's done for 3 months. So I've modeled this program to mimic exactly what you would experience if you were to go to a functional medicine doctor. However, instead of it costing $5,000 to $10,000 just to run the baseline tests before you get started, we're going to go through the nutrition prescription right now. These first 3 months, the next cohort launching soon, you will have quite a few answers, even though you haven't done all of this baseline testing. We can still start on that first prescription, nutrition, because that's what they would do with you too. So in the functional medicine model, you're going to see so many chronic conditions resolved. And I have 3 beautiful stories for you today that explore and detail exactly that. Settle into a comfortable position. We are going to set an intention and decide what it is you want to get from our time here together today. What is it that you would like to achieve? A goal that you have, your dream outcome. It's my intention for you that you walk away with even just one practice you can implement right away as soon as this masterclass is complete. I'd like you to be able to manifest that in the time we have together. So set that intention down. I am so happy and grateful to be living in vibrant health. I am so happy and grateful to wake up refreshed every morning. I am healthy. Perhaps one of those intentions is yours or something you create on your own. Today, my goal is to share 7 useful yet overlooked aspects you haven't heard about when it comes to understanding your body composition. Or if you have heard about them, they haven't been emphasized. I'm going to give you an understanding as to why they ought to be emphasized. So whether you're trying to lose just those last 5 pounds or whether you're trying to lose 100 pounds, the principles are still the same. And my objective is always to guide people from wherever they're stuck over to the spectrum of ultimate health and vitality and contribution, because I believe that you will contribute your life's gifts to the world once you have reclaimed your vibrant health. It's your birthright, and you deserve to claim your birthright. Today, you're going to learn simple, practical, and affordable ways to look at your health and your body in a very unique way. Your body has such powerful healing capabilities and is a powerful healing instrument. With every breath in, your body is working to support your desires, to heal and to repair itself. Unfortunately, the problem is that nobody taught you how to use this amazing body. It's wisdom that's been lost over the generations. So oftentimes we can feel like a victim in a body that doesn't work like we think it ought to, when in fact, nothing can fix your body better than it can fix itself when we let it and give it the support and the tools it needs. When it comes to your health, time is working against you if you don't know how to help yourself. But time is working for you if you do know what you're doing. So you're going to learn how to make time work for you today. Our time together is most effectively spent when our values align. So to this session, I want to bring honesty and integrity, transparency and open dialogue. Ask me anything. It's my desire to build trust so we may craft a transformation together in the short and the long term. Yes, I do want to bump into you in a year and see your vibrant self, your big smile, and hear all that you've been up to with this new body, this new you. You will see my appreciation of the natural world, agriculture, as we uncover centuries of traditional food wisdom. And I also hold dearly connection and sharing. which is why I love this group format. The connection and sharing can be summed up as love with a capital L. I also value being of service within my family and in community contribution. I also enjoy paying it forward. Many have helped me along my path, and I appreciate the opportunity to be of service and lend a hand to others. So I'm thrilled to pass along the wisdom that has come to me. And I share these values with you to make the best use of your time and mine, to make sure that we bring that energy forward to today in this presentation. Before we begin with the Nourish for Flourish Masterclass and its 7 tools, I would like to present a few likely scenarios to you and see if any one of them resonates. Does this scenario sum up you and your experience in this body? The scale keeps going up and down despite my best efforts. You start a program, lose weight, and your weight plateaus. Then you gain it all back. Or you feel overwhelmed with all of the information out there. I hear that quite a lot. Some people tell me they don't know where to start. Other people tell me I don't feel like myself anymore. No matter what you eat or how much you exercise, does your weight budge? Stays the same? Do you gain more? Some people tell me that their weight runs their life. They're constantly thinking about it. It's always on their mind. So when we go in to make a big shift, we need to look at our paradigm and our identity. It's how we look at the world. Some people have a paradigm in which they believe that as they get older, they are supposed to get sicker. For example, a friend has a grandmother whose paradigm is such that as she ages, she believes she's supposed to get sicker. She's supposed to not feel good. She's supposed to be in pain. And guess what? That's exactly what she experienced in her life to the very end. When our paradigm is off course, then every decision that we make is then off course because our paradigm determines our decisions. I've decided that my paradigm, as my body gets older and wiser, it's going to get healthier. I'm becoming more experienced and having a greater impact on the world with what I learn each day. My health is entirely my responsibility, and I'm the one who will take the best care of me. I ask you, what is your paradigm of health? Next, after paradigm, we need to look at identity because our paradigm shapes our identity. Identity is the internal dialogue and language that we have with ourselves that sometimes we vocalize. For example, when someone wants to stop smoking, one person may have an identity that they are trying to quit smoking versus someone who has decided that they've already quit smoking. Which one do you think is going to be more successful? Another simple example of identity is someone who's displays that through their food choices. And they say, I am a vegetarian. Another powerful example is the person who claims their disease. I am celiac. I am diabetic. Well, their body may have celiac disease or diabetes, but that doesn't mean that's who they are. When our mind is set and fixed on this kind of identity, decision-making becomes almost instant. There's no thought involved in making that decision because the identity is so clear. So what is your identity going to be when it comes to your health? For me, my identity is that I am a woman who makes healthy and conscientious choices. What is your identity? Is it someone who's trying to lose weight? Someone who has a slow metabolism? Someone who's going through menopause gaining weight? Let's reconsider this because there are people who go through menopause and don't gain weight. Our identity is extremely important in determining our reality. It determines so much of our life in a subtle and sometimes not so subtle way. On the path to optimal health, each of us has a choice to accept the responsibility to be as independently healthy as possible or not. I equate health with wealth, as has been done in centuries past. Being healthy is being wealthy, and I want you to be independently healthy. For the most part, this doesn't mean that you won't need a doctor or an emergency procedure, because that did happen to me after all. Though we do know that when you're taking really good care of yourself, that the outcomes, if an emergency ever arrived, is much better if you're healthy to begin with. Being independently healthy means that in every moment of every day, you choose to move towards health and happiness. Because our current healthcare crisis is not going to be of service to you, especially if it's something chronic. Emergency, yes, but chronic, not at all. There aren't any more doctors or nurses or hospitals or meds that are going to help you get through a chronic issue. It's you. The solution lays with you. I'd like you to never have to see a doctor again unless it's in an emergency situation. So if you're wondering, what is at the root of the dysfunction in your body? What are these chronic issues, this weight gain? What's happening? It almost always is going to tie back to inflammation and stress. Now, some forms of inflammation are going to be subtle, which means they're not going to be painful. You won't notice. For example, when someone has inflammation in their arteries, there's usually no pain associated with that unless it shows as a heart attack. This painless ill health is usually chronic, low-grade inflammation. We call it a subclinical diagnosis if it's even picked up by your medical doctor. Dysfunction is when a system does not function optimally. Makes sense? And it also ties back to stress. Stress comes in three forms: chemical, physical, and emotional. Chemical stress could be certain foods that we're putting in our body. Emotional stress could be certain people in our lives or certain situations that we put ourselves in at work or our family stressors. Physical stress could be something like exercise stress, excess exercise, or it could be an injury that's causing problems, just doesn't heal. In the majority of cases, dysfunction ties back to stress and inflammation. So we address that. In our protocols, in our programs, we address stress and inflammation. We give you the tools and the know-how to be able to welcome yourself back to health. It is very important to ask, what am I doing to increase the inflammation in my body? Remember, it's you who takes responsibility for your health and your outcomes. So we ask, what is it that I am doing to create stress? And what can I do to release it? What can I do to rebalance my choices and return my body and mind to that place we call homeostasis? Homeostasis is the balance that your body is constantly trying to find. And ideally, it's like, well, it wants to be in the middle, just as much as it can. It's like a pendulum, though. It swings back and forth, but eventually it finds that middle ground. So for the most part, we're going to focus on bringing our body back to center, to being grounded, to being in the middle. When you're in that middle range, you're burning fat as energy, and you have a ton of energy. When you're in the middle, you have an amazing functioning immune system. Your blood sugar is stable, no insulin spikes. Your cognitive function is on point, and your motivation is exactly where it needs to be. And of course, you feel amazing. Inflammation and stress are the two main inputs that cause dysfunction in the body. And those two inputs have a direct impact on our nervous system. If you take a look at this slide here, you can see the two sides of our nervous system. The fight or flight is our sympathetic, and the parasympathetic is demonstrated by the words on your right: the rest, digest, repair, restore, revive, reproduce, and regenerate. Our nervous system can be one or the other. It can either be aroused in fight or flight, or it can be calm at rest. Imagine this scenario. You're quietly sitting in a room reading a book, and through an open door, a lion enters the room. What's going to happen inside of your body? Seeing a threat, your respiratory rate increases, the breathing becomes shallow, and you breathe heavily through your mouth. As your heart rate increases, your digestive function shuts down. Detoxification and reproduction shut down because we don't need those right now. Your blood sugar increases to fuel the muscles to run, your bladder and your bowel empty to lighten up for the impending run from the lion. And this is a normal response if you have an acute stressor, something in the moment, such as a lion entering your room. But the problem is, for most of us, we're in a constant state of fight or flight. Who feels as if they are constantly having a lion chasing after them? Remember, everything you desire lives on the right-hand side of this diagram, in the parasympathetic division of the nervous system. So perhaps you take a few extra minutes on that drive to work. Perhaps you take a few extra minutes to enjoy that meal. When you calm yourself, you move into the parasympathetic division of your nervous system. So let's get to these pillars. The first pillar of our system here addresses your body type. The release of the body's chemicals that enable such a rapid and effective response are called hormones. And hormones influence our body shape and how it feels to live in that body. Take a look at these drawings. Both male and female bodies have the same hormones, though in differing proportions. A young male body has testosterone levels at about 10 times the amount of a young female body. Both bodies have estrogen, though women have higher levels. And interesting to me is that a woman's testosterone level is actually higher than her estrogens. Yes, there are 3 estrogens. Female bodies also produce progesterone from the ovaries to support a pregnancy. View these 4 body shapes as generalizations. You may even see your body as 2 different types, or perhaps even 3. So let's take a closer look at each one of these and how they overlap. In this image, we're depicting the shape of a body with high cortisol. Cortisol is produced by the adrenal glands and often produces a body shape somewhat similar to this image, with the weight gain around the abdomen. Common symptoms from a body producing too much cortisol are difficulty falling asleep, slow starter in the morning because that was a rough night of sleep. With all of the stress and the constant go, go, go from this cortisol, there's likely adrenaline, and those adrenals are craving some salty foods to feed them. With all of the ramped up energy and heightened attention, of course, that body is going to feel wired, tired, even jittery. Someone with high cortisol levels often has trouble calming down. An afternoon headache after the morning rush, yawning. If this goes on for long enough, chronic fatigue symptoms develop. Do any of these symptoms match your experience? The second body type we'll look at is the estrogen, high estrogen body type. Estrogen is produced by the ovaries during a woman's menstruation, just prior to ovulation. And after menopause, estrogen is produced by the adrenal glands. Male bodies also produce estrogen, which is critical for brain health in both men and women. However, if there's too much estrogen, the body will take on a shape that looks very curvy. Men may even develop breasts a condition called gynecomastia. That's right, gynecomastia. In addition, there may be symptoms that you experience if you have a high estrogen level. Beyond the weight gain around the bottom half of the body, there could be mood swings with menstruation or breast tenderness, even excessive menstrual flow. High estrogen is responsible for the pain women feel during their periods if they have endometriosis or uterine fibroids. There may also be vaginal dryness or itchiness. And of course, those very common symptoms, hot flashes and night sweats. Because the body is so wise, it will store that excess estrogen in a holding tank. It's called the gallbladder. And that leads to all sorts of digestive issues. Our next body type is the low thyroid body type. The thyroid is a butterfly-shaped gland located in the neck. Although it's located high up, it's downstream from the other glands and is often affected by experiencing digestive and/or adrenal issues. The thyroid is exposed to damaging influences such as X-rays where the neck is exposed, or the full body radiation from scans such as those found in airport security checkpoints. The symptoms experienced by someone with low thyroid function include difficulty gaining weight, or losing weight after they have gained weight all over their body. With all of this low function, people tend to be mentally sluggish if they have low thyroid function. They could develop Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune low functioning thyroid condition. They often experience chronic constipation. They may have excessive hair loss because those hormones aren't getting to the scalp to nourish the follicles that produce the hair. They may become easily fatigued and sleepy during the day. Systems just aren't optimally functioning. When this happens, sometimes without the sun, they may experience seasonal sadness. And these body types often are sensitive to cold. We all have an amazing organ called the liver. It's critical for our life and it performs over 500 metabolic functions. The liver is essential for digestion and hormone balancing. When the liver is burdened by everyday toxins in the air, water, and food, you will notice a decrease in your signs of health, such as your skin, issues with your skin, your nails, your hair. There may be sensitivities to chemicals, sensitivities to airborne pollutants such as tobacco smoke. If you put your hand on your right side rib cage, your liver is just underneath that hand, beneath the ribs. So if there's pain there, that's in the area of your liver. Could also be your gallbladder, which is right beside your liver. It stores the bile that the liver produces. There could be, due to an underfunctioning liver and congestion, it could be hemorrhoids or varicose veins. That's a downstream effect from being plugged up and having pressure on the bottom half of the body. There could be sensitivity to chemical foods such as NutraSweet. And then issues show up in bigger ways, such as general symptoms in chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia. These body types are easily intoxicated. The liver is just not able to metabolize the incoming alcohol. And oftentimes, these body types may have a history of drugs or alcohol use that burdens the liver, slows down all of its functions. Because we all have a liver and we're all exposed to toxins, we all have a liver body burden. In our 12-week Nourish and Flourish program, we support all 4 of these body types, including the liver. Most people experience a tremendous shift in all of these symptoms in just 3 short weeks. By week 6, they're flying. So take just a moment and see what body type most closely resembles yours based on these 4 images and their symptoms. Go ahead and note in your book A, B, C, or D, or a combination. Remember, you can be more than one. Knowing your body type helps you understand what hormones are out of balance, which then helps us reverse engineer a solution that is specific for you. And this is what I love helping my clients do. In addition to knowing your body type, there's a survey that you fill out as a client that allows us to confidently put the pieces together and the pieces of the puzzle together, and we resolve the discomfort of a body that is out of balance. So let me introduce you to one of our clients who did just this with us. This is Lori. And Lori was searching for a solution to a problem she knew she had. She was very concerned about her gut health, her heart health, liver. She wanted to lose some weight, and she wanted a better overall feeling of wellness. She saw this photograph after a golf trip down south last winter and knew she wanted to make changes. She did not like the way she looked in this photograph. She, on her form, she noted that she was body type A and C. And even though she was postmenopausal, she was still sleeping with a fan on because of the night sweats. She was very concerned about the high cholesterol levels that she saw on her blood tests, and she was recording high blood pressures. So we went to work. Lori needed to know that the nutrition information was real and not just a sales pitch. 6 months ago, she attended a presentation just like this, and she decided to change her life right then and there. And that's exactly what she did. Take a look for yourself. In less than 3 months, Lori released 25 pounds and beautifully reshaped her body. This summer, she's been busy, very busy, gardening, golfing, and entertaining. In fact, the skirt she was wearing in that last photograph now falls off her body. Lori is wearing the same golf shirt in these 2 photographs, and now a much smaller pair of shorts. You can see how her waist and hips have reshaped into smooth curves. The swelling in her lower legs resolved, as did the varicose veins she thought she'd have to live with. The story gets even sweeter for Lori and her family. Lori brought their son Chad along on this nourishing transformation journey. She was very concerned about his health trajectory as he was only 28 years old and dealing with a number of issues. In less than 2 months, Lori was beaming as she updated us. Chad has lost 28 pounds. He's spending more time with us, cooking with me, and laughing again. His ADHD symptoms are gone, and we have our son back. Thank you, Michelle. We are so grateful for this program. Well, reading those words and hearing her tell Chad's story was so very touching for me. Our second pillar is breathing. Yes, that simple act of breathing. Here's an interesting fact. For every 10 pounds of body fat that your body releases, 8.5 pounds are through your breath. The other 1.5 pounds is released through your urine. So where does the fat go, you ask? Well, we pee it out and we breathe it out. This is the body's natural exhaust system at work. The byproducts of burning fat for energy are carbon dioxide and water. So how we burn fuel is called metabolism. And our body metabolizes and exhausts through the breath and through the urine. Our body is truly, truly amazing, and breathing right is important for a number of reasons. First, when you breathe correctly, you set the right tone in your nervous system. Remember that diagram? The left and the right, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic? Everything you want, everything you desire is on the parasympathetic side of your nervous system. By breathing through the mouth, we send the body into a state of distress. We signal distress to our body. Second, when we look at hygiene, the mouth has the highest bacteria concentration in the whole body. So when you breathe through your mouth, you're inhaling all this bacteria and sending it directly into your lungs. Slow breathing through your nose is one of the most important things you can do for your health. And you can start doing this right now. It's free and it's available. Now you know. For the rest of this presentation, I'm going to ask you to be conscious of breathing through your nose. Try this little tap. Put your tongue at the roof of your mouth and the tip of your tongue along the side of your, sorry, just a second. Put the tip of your tongue at the back of your teeth and the rest of the tongue along the top of the roof of the mouth. This is the natural position for your tongue. And you'll notice that it is almost impossible to mouth breathe with your tongue up against the roof of the mouth, flat and toward the front of the teeth. If you breathe slowly in and out, 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out, you'll start to engage your parasympathetic nervous system. In our programs, we teach our clients a variety of different breathing techniques so that you can tap into those whenever needed, whenever a stressful situation arises, or you wish to calm down in your own presence. Why would we teach breathing? Well, it increases energy. When you become an efficient breather, you gain more energy. You're off-gassing that exhaust that you're burning with your stored energy. You improve cognitive function. There's more oxygen for the brain. And you even can increase your body temperature. So those cold body types can be warm. When we breathe correctly, we set our immune system up for better health and we optimize metabolic function. The side effects, well, other than what I've just mentioned, it might be of interest to you to know that your tongue is one of the strongest muscles in your body and it keeps your teeth in place. So proper tongue posture, proper breathing posture will help to keep your facial structure in place as your body ages. The third pillar we're going to look at is nutrient density and the eating window. One aspect that isn't often discussed is meal timing. It is best to eat when the sun is bright, so avoid eating meals when the body is preparing to wind down for the night. We recommend 3 hours before sleep. So if your bedtime is 10 o'clock, then you're enjoying your dinner between 6:30 and 7 p.m. finished. So your body has that 3-hour window from 7 till 10 to digest. If you eat late at night, then the body focuses on digesting that food that's sitting in your stomach instead of focusing on optimizing your brain function during the restorative nighttime hours. All of that blood flow and energy is going to the gut when it needs to be going into the rest of the body for its repair work. For those of you who experience brain fog or difficulty focusing, it could be because you're eating too close to bedtime and actually disrupting the architecture of your sleep. Your heart rate goes up, and we just don't get into that deep rest. Another powerful strategy that we incorporate into our programs is intermittent fasting. A lot of people are new to intermittent fasting, and once they've tried it, they are sold. Intermittent fasting is a powerful way to repair and regenerate your organs. It's free. You simply need to know how. We teach you that. We teach you actually many different ways. And intermittent fasting allows your body to tap into your stored energy as a fuel source. It's incredibly effective, very efficient, and it reshapes your body very quickly. If you're eating less food, your body's putting less energy into digestion and storing what isn't used, then you're spending less time and energy and money. And you have more time, energy, and money at your disposal for the things you truly want to do. Another topic we cover in our program is what to eat and why. There's so much conflicting information out there, and people tell me that they are confused about what the real answer is to get our health, to gain health, regain health, and to lose weight. Through our coaching, we guide clients through a clear and detailed way to eat, which is supportive for all human beings, men and women. We nourish to flourish, and then our bodies easily reset, reshape, and renew. These are a few photographs of actual meals our clients eat. And as you can see, it's whole food. It's anti-inflammatory food, and it is plentiful. That's one of the most common comments we receive, that there is more than enough to eat on this protocol. That clients, they say, I'm completely satisfied after a meal. I want you to consider the old adage, calories in, calories out. It's completely inaccurate. Forget about it, push it aside. We're not going to use it anymore. Our program focuses on nutrient density versus calorie counting. In fact, we ignore the calories altogether. This image before you is of a bowl of potato chips, which has the same calorie count as that bright red, beautiful apple. However, when we focus on nutrient density, we feed the body the foods that provide the right amount of protein, carbohydrates, and fats, along with their naturally occurring vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients. This heals your body inside and out, boosts your metabolism, and accelerates weight loss. If you look at that bland-looking processed bowl of potato chips and that bright and beautiful, colorful apple, the eye is drawn to the apple. However, food engineering has created a bag full of chips that will hook your attention, cause you to come back for more. And they do it with 3 ingredients: fat, starch or sugar, and salt. And this trifecta will hook a person. Would you eat a bag of apples? I think not. Would you eat a bag of potato chips? I think so. I know I have. And boy, oh boy, those engineers, those food engineers have it down to a science. One of our clients, Marina, went all in on her nutrient-dense meals and she rocked her reset. She has a great story, and I'm going to share it to you now. She was referred to us by her sister, Lori, whose story you heard earlier. So this is Marina. Each day was challenging for her, and she knew she needed to choose a different path. So she joined us in February 2023. So she began where she was at. She identified herself as a body type C on her intake form. She was very concerned about high blood pressure and cholesterol. She said she was borderline with diabetes. She had difficulty sleeping, low energy and motivation. And she had an injury, and physiotherapy was not helping. She said, I knew I had to do something to live better in my retirement years. And look at this. This is where Marina started, and she wrote a testimonial for us. I was more than skeptical to become part of this Reset Reshape group. How many times have you said to yourself, I will start on Monday, and then Monday just never seems to come? My Monday started on February 20th. I knew I needed to do something to change my body size and my mindset, and this program sounded like something I could actually do. Thank you so much, Michelle. I have lost 43 pounds to date, and I feel fabulous, not only because I've lost the weight, because the program cuts out all inflammatory foods for the first 6 weeks, which did great wonders for my body. I had crazy swelling in my knee, which prevented me from even taking my dog for more than a 2 to 3 block walk. This knee inflammation was reduced within the first 10 days on the program. I'd like you to take notice of her foot placement. Do you see her before picture? She has to stand wide with her feet. Take a look at her after picture. Look at how close she can bring her feet together. Marina's clothes from February were hanging off her body in no time. She told us very proudly during one of our Saturday sessions that she had packed up 3/4 of her wardrobe and donated it. She had decided she was never going back to live in that previous body, and clearing out her closet was her way of drawing a line in the sand. She is absolutely radiant. She is actually having to relearn how to golf in this new body shape. And she is a joy to be around. As of my last update with her, she had released 49 pounds. She said she's so excited and she's enjoying the summer. The best part about it is that she's done this with her family, Lori and Chad. She finished saying, I'm now able to walk 9 holes golfing without any issues. My dog loves it as I can walk her whenever the mood takes us. 3 exclamation marks. I no longer hurt just sitting on the couch watching TV. I have 100% more motivation to go and do anything besides sit in front of the TV binging. My hips don't hurt laying in bed. I'm able to get out of bed on demand instead of actually dreading moving as my whole body seemed to hurt in the morning. I cannot give enough accolades to the people who started in this group with me, as they have been tremendous support and gave me that extra lift when I needed it. I also cannot give enough thanks to Michelle, who has taught me more about my own body in these past 4 months than I have known in over 60 years. I knew all of that information, those dog to a bone and down the rabbit hole would come in handy. I've included some pictures, she says, to show I actually started this lifestyle change and the results I have achieved thus far. Isn't this great? This is so well worth doing for yourself, she writes. You deserve it. Marina DaCosta. So at approximately the 7-week mark, Marina had her routine blood work done, and her H1C and cholesterol levels had both dropped so far into the normal range. She met with her doctor and was told, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Our 4th pillar is rest and recovery. Now, we all know sleep is important. However, we can optimize our rest and recovery with a few tips. If your sleep is below optimal, then the next day is below optimal. Cognitive function, metabolic function, those food cravings return, your neurotransmitter production is disrupted, immune systems are lowered, your energy levels plummet. Everything tanks when you don't sleep well. Our body desires a consistent sleep and wake time, even on weekends and even during holidays. You want to ensure that you get morning sunlight within the first hour of waking to set your body's daily rhythm and for the next night's rest. Have you noticed the color of the dawn and midday sun and the dusk then twilight? The sun offers our cells and our brain information through the different colors and wavelengths according to its position in the sky. Cortisol and melatonin levels are critical in regulating our sleep-wake cycle, and these levels are established with sun exposure. This topic is so important for you to nourish and flourish that we have an entire week focused on sleep. When preparing for bed, ideally a room temperature that's cool at night also signals your body for sleep and has your body burn more fat while you sleep. As best you can, avoid artificial lighting for at least 2 to 3 hours before bed to protect your body's melatonin and ensure continuous sleep. Does your career have you on shift work? Well, we have suggestions to optimize your schedule, even with shift work. If you're not getting a maximum of 7 hours of sleep, you're going to have more cravings and not feel satisfied after eating. Hormones are, again, responsible for this. Ghrelin is our hunger hormone, and if we don't sleep enough, ghrelin increases and sends hunger signals from the gut to the brain. Leptin is our satiety hormone. When we don't sleep enough, we don't feel satiated or satisfied. On average, those who do not sleep 7 hours at night end up consuming about 300 more calories each day and end up giving in to sugar cravings and processed foods. Unhealthy food choices simply create a vicious circle of ill health. Interesting to note that 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories. So if a person is consuming 300 extra calories per day, the pounds add on very quickly. Our 5th pillar is joyful movement, and we've got a great story to celebrate joyful movement. Joyful movement, we define this as movement that you enjoy doing. Those people with fulfilling lives don't just exercise for an hour and get in a killer morning workout and then sit for the rest of the day. They're active all day, throughout the day. We ask you to find something you enjoy, something you love. Perhaps it's yoga, maybe it's hiking. Could be golfing, playing with children. Any movement counts. Even parking your vehicle at the far end of the parking lot to walk into whichever store you might be visiting. That counts too. You might not love it, however, it's effective. When you're outside, add extra bonus points because you're getting exposure to vitamin D, and that vitamin D production on skin that does not have any barriers on it optimizes your sleep function, your brain function, and your immune system function. One of the ways to guarantee that you're going to move throughout the day is to drink enough fluids, because you're going to have to get up and take a little trip to the bathroom. So please stop working about nailing another hardcore gym workout and find something fun to do. The hardcore workout creates more inflammation in your body, and that's the exact opposite of everything you dream of and desire in the parasympathetic model of your nervous system. Remember this diagram. Exercise is important. Movement is better. And everything you want is in the parasympathetic division. We do recommend going outside into nature. Nature has no straight lines. Nature is always in flow. In fact, birds and animals flock to running water. They know there's freshness there. There's movement in nature. In order for you to release your extra weight, we want to engage in more parasympathetic activities, which you can do in your waking and moving states. When we place all of these pillars that we've discussed on top of our foundational nutrition principles taught in our Nourish to Flourish program, amazing healing occurs. Let me introduce you to Linda. Linda wrote to me after her program. We had talked last fall, and she was in a very uncomfortable place. She was really quite sick and very worried. She wrote in her testimonial, "When I first learned of this program, I was hesitant, reluctant, skeptical, and apprehensive. I knew I needed and wanted to lose at least 20 pounds. It just seemed like it would be a lot of work. The part that attracted me most was doing the program with a group and hoping that would make me accountable. The support was what I needed. I decided I would not think about the 6 or 10-week duration. I would commit to it 1 week at a time. The weight gain occurred because I had become ill from a vaccination, causing me burning mouth syndrome and small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or SIBO, and small intestinal fungal overgrowth called SIFO. For 2 months, eating food was like putting razors in my mouth," she said. "Everything caused me pain. I literally starved and lost a ton of weight fast. The conventional medical system had no idea what to do with me. My naturopath put me on a terrible regimen of diet and meds. I suffered more. Eventually, I could eat, and that's why I gained a lot of weight. After starving, I was stuffing. My body had suffered, and due to inflammation, I could hardly stand up for more than 20 minutes. Everywhere I went, the first thing I looked for was a place to sit down. This robbed me of enjoyment. I had no energy, no motivation. I was feeling gross." Imagine this if you're a busy entrepreneurial woman traveling across Canada. When on the program, she wrote, "After the first week, I was fully committed. I lost a pound a day, and it was exciting. I remember the challenges, but Michelle was always full of solutions, and so was my group. It was about the second week of this program that I realized how much had changed, and it was easier than I thought. There's no more pain standing up, no more feeling so fatigued or gross. The weight was falling off. Within 3 weeks, I lost 15 pounds. And this is what she arrived at. "One day I picked up a 10-pound bag of potatoes," she wrote, "and a 5-pound bag. And I realized this was equivalent to the extra weight I was carrying around. It was hard to believe how heavy that was. The best news yet, no more SIBO or SIFO. This really healed me. Today, I can eat foods I never used to be able to eat. There are things my body will tell me I no longer tolerate too, and I am listening. Linda enjoyed joyful movement the whole night of her 62nd birthday party. She was pretty tired when she showed up for our Saturday morning session at 9 a.m. To date, Linda has released 29 pounds? Yes, and counting. She wrote that she feels better in this size and that she loves that her clothes fit. The frumpy stuff she used to wear, thinking she was creating an illusion that I could hide my plumpness, well, that's all gone. I'm not a size large anymore. I'm a medium to small. I still have 10 pounds to go, likely all in the back end. She laughed, but I have no shred of doubt it will be there, or I will be there. I'm confident and patient. Sometimes we need to lose a little weight and then adjust to being smaller for a bit, then continue to lose again. Listen to yourself, she advised. She summed up her testimonial with these words. The ladies in this program have truly inspired me. Learning from Michelle has been incredibly helpful. Watching my new friends, Stephanie, Marina, Lori, and Karen, shrink before my eyes has been so inspiring. We learn to care enough for ourselves so we make better choices. I can't wait to meet the second group and the group after that. Thank you, Michelle, for doing a great job putting all of this together and helping so many. Linda. Our sixth pillar is optimizing digestion. When it comes to weight loss, many people focus on what to eat, but what is commonly overlooked is how we eat. One of the first sessions we discuss optimal digestion. First, choosing the right foods, such as anti-inflammatory foods. We show you how to avoid processed foods and ultra-processed foods. Second, we emphasize chewing your food 20 to 30 times per bite, or until it's the texture of a puree. Yes, a lot like baby food. That way, your digestive system can extract all of the nutrients it requires. Third, we ask you to chill out. Make sure you're in a calm and relaxed state. So many of us are eating on the go. We're in our cars or in front of our computers or on our phones, completely unaware of what we're eating. This is a stressful situation for the body. When your body is in that fight or flight state, it's not going to be able to digest your food properly. You're not going to be able to assimilate all of the nutrients from your food. Remember, we need these very nutrients to power the body's metabolic processes. You want to make sure that you are calm when you eat. And one of the best ways to do that is to take 3 conscious breaths before you eat. Our fourth suggestion is to cherish. Cherish this moment and the nourishment on your plate. Taking a moment of gratitude, looking at all of the colors of food on your plate, and giving your appreciation for every step that brought it to you. The farmers, the ranchers, the fishermen, the hands that grew it, that brought it home, that prepared it. Our last suggestion is to check. Yes, please. Yes, you want to take the time to check your food and what comes out on the other end the next day, making sure your bowel movements are well formed. If they're loose or you're experiencing constipation, then you know that digestion must be addressed. So your body begins digesting your food properly and fueling every one of billion cells. You become nourished and you flourish. We have learned that it takes about 20 minutes for the gut to signal the brain that enough food has been received. The gut then sorts through all of that food, looking for the nutrients it needs to run all of its systems 24 hours per day. On this program, we nourish to flourish, and when the body receives what it needs, amazing transformations take place. You've seen 3 of them, 4 in fact: Lori, Chad, Marina, and Linda. Our last pillar is the HPA axis, or the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. Why is there a photograph with a woman touching a thermometer, or pardon me, a thermostat? Well, we all have an HPA axis. And it is the system in the body that regulates your body's metabolic functions, your body temperature, appetite, adrenal function, thyroid function, and your sex hormone function. There are 2 glands located in your brain, the pituitary and the hypothalamus. The master regulator is the pituitary. It ensures that the rest of the body is functioning optimally. And you'll always be chasing your tail, so to speak, if it's not. So I have a question for you. Do you know of someone who can eat anything and never gain weight? Well, if you do, the reason is that they don't gain weight because their HPA excess is set to that point, that weight. If your weight has been fluctuating, it's because your HPA axis needs to be reset. It's like the thermostat on a house. If you set your thermostat to 21 degrees or 68, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and someone opens the door and the heat wave comes in, then the air conditioning is going to crank on and cool that room down back to its set point. Likewise, in the winter months, somebody leaves the door open, the winter wind comes in, and the furnace kicks on, bringing that temperature back up to its set point. So your body's the same way. And if your weight is set to about, let's say, 150 pounds, then your body will maintain that weight. And you'll only fluctuate within a few pounds of that weight because the hormones are telling it this is where you should be, what you should weigh. For a lot of people, that secret sauce, in addition to some of the things we talked about today, is resetting that thermostat. The hypothalamus sits at the base of the brain, and it sends a message to your pituitary gland, which then sends a message to your thyroid, adrenals, and reproductive organs. All of these organs are responsible for regulating your metabolism, your perceived stress response, and your reproductive function. These functions require essential minerals to run properly. Just as an electric car battery is made with minerals from the earth, so is your body. It is an electrical organism. So on our program, we gift our clients a 3-month supply of bioavailable minerals and fat-soluble vitamins in a capsule to help replenish my vitamin and mineral stores. And that ensures a smooth ride, almost like that of a Tesla. When the HPA axis functions optimally, then amazing transformations happen, just like you've seen in our stories. I have a bonus tip here for you, another little secret sauce to put on top of your learnings today. Everyone's map is unique to their journey, and you will draw your own unique map. So the secret sauce is in drawing your map. N equals 1. You are you and only you. Your body will respond to this metabolic reset as it needs to. We may have similarities as we journey together. However, yours will be unique to you. If I told you to come to my house, your map is going to look different from Lori's map because you're both at different starting points. Next, to clear your path, I recommend that you have a knowledgeable guide. A guide by your side, a guide who directs you surely and confidently through the process, who helps you see the light, stay the course, and reminds you of your goals. You will have questions, you will want to know what's around the bend, and you will want to know that you are safe and your body is doing exactly what it needs to do. There will be temptations to go back to old habits, coworkers who display jealousy at your transformation, and your radiance. They will see your changes. There will be times when you get stuck in that old paradigm and that identity. So lean on your guide. She's been there. She's done this before, and she's guided many others. I'm confident that I can guide you too. I know many paths to the top of your mountain. The next thing that's so important, this third thing, is a community of like-minded people. Just like I learned with my dance classes, we could work one-on-one. However, the most fun and the greatest accomplishments were done in a group setting. Being in a community of like-minded people who speak the same language and who are headed to the top of that same mountain you are, no matter what, is so enlightening. It's essential for your success. Many hands make light work, and these successful outcomes are much higher when we all journey together and support one another. So there you have it. The bonus tip: a map, a guide, and a community will get you the best results possible in your transformation in just 6 weeks' time. I promise you. My purpose is to provide you with your map and to get you where you want to go. As the guide by your side, I provide the wisdom you need for each and every day throughout your entire journey. You'll be in good company with your community and have a lot of fun watching your body reset, reshape, and renew. These 3 things are instrumental in your change. So now that you have the 7 pillars, you may be wondering, how can we work together to create a lasting transformation? Well, thanks for asking. So some people like Lori and Linda knew this program was exactly what they wanted after the masterclass they attended. In fact, they attended 2. They were so eager to get started. Marina heard about it from her sister and asked to have a call with me before she joined our group, as did Stephanie. Chad trusted his mother's guidance and simply joined us sight unseen. Other clients have been referrals, and we spoke on the telephone first before they jumped in. A discovery call with me is a chance where I get to sit down with you one-on-one. It's usually about 20 minutes or half an hour. And what I can promise you is that we'll draw a roadmap to get you healthy again. And should you decide to join our community, there's a guide right here by your side. I have that. It's all together. It works. It's a beautiful system, and I love coaching it. Hopefully I can get the opportunity to speak with you, and I have you in the next cohort starting on August 26th. I know for many of you, it's weight loss that brings you in, though when we dig deeper, it's the lifestyle victories that are way more impactful to your overall health, as you heard with Lori, Marina, and Linda. But Michelle, what if I can't? What if it's not the right time? What if I don't live near you? Well, if the path was that easy, you'd simply read the book and you wouldn't need a map or me. But there isn't a book for what lies around the bend. I've been there, I've seen it, and I can guide you there. Finding the answers to my medical recovery took me years and tens of thousands of dollars. Putting this program together has been a labor of love and offers you the daily support and coaching that accelerates your success in 6 weeks' time. It's far beyond the food, as you can see. It's the community and the accountability. It's the direction and experience that you get with us on our Reset program. So people say it's not my time. I'm not sure if I have the right time, or I'm feeling overwhelmed. Well, we just had a lovely woman from California finish the program, and she was working away from home for a month's time, teaching every day at an intensive. You can imagine her homecoming when her husband picked her up and she arrived sporting a new chassis. He said she looked great and was very complimentary. They've just spent a week away. I'm sure they had a great time, and she's enjoying her new you. We work with people virtually, so the second question is a non-issue. As long as you have access to an internet or telephone, we can guide you. And yes, number 3, vegans and vegetarians are welcome to join us on this program. There is just one caveat. You need to know that this program is built around traditional foods from cultures worldwide. So we will be discussing the benefits of having animal protein on our menu. Question number 4, I'm afraid to fail. Well, we have had so many clients. They don't even want to mention to friends that they are starting another program because they don't want to be sabotaged, or they're afraid of failing, and so they just don't want anybody to know they've even tried. However, for anyone who commits 100% to the program, I guarantee 100% results. They will transform. They will be nourished. They will flourish. And they do reset, reshape, and renew. All of them. What is the investment, Michelle? Yes, of course. Very relevant question. So we have options for all budgets. Our programs range from $2,000 to $5,000. And this year, as I put my programs online, I'm offering a BOGO promotion. Bring one, get one. So this is the best time to invest in your health with this kind of support and this supportive community. We have an offer where for $1,000, half the price of the normal tuition, you can enjoy all of the same benefits and the same commitment from our team to your health. If you're flying solo, we offer the opportunity to reset, reshape, renew at $1,500. So you still get a substantial discount, 25%. And last week, I announced the launch of our affiliate program. I'm really excited about this. So what this means for you is that you could take the entire program for free. Yes, that's right. So each person you bring with you outside of your BOGO, you will earn a 10% affiliate reward. So between the BOGO and a few friends, you could be sporting a sassy new chassis before the holiday for pennies on the dollar, if not for free. Combine that with the reimbursement you get from your health insurance and the tax deduction that may be available to you. You could do this entire program for free. So until you get your BOGO group together, speak to me. We do have payment options available. Now, think back to a project you've undertaken in the past. If you follow a system that would something that would normally take you months, you can do in a few days. Same thing with this transformation. Something that would take you years, you can do in a few short weeks. The system is already laid out for you. All of the materials you need are provided, and the coaching is there. We get you started August 26th. People do talk about the time. Well, we always use time as an excuse, but on this program, you will actually save time because you're going to have so much more energy. And with the systematic approach and our menu structure, you will be preparing less food and enjoying more time. We work with clients virtually, so as long as you have access to your computer or telephone, you'll be able to join us. And being overwhelmed, I promise you, it's only effort until it becomes routine. That'll take you about a week. Well worth the investment because the next 5 weeks, you're going to feel fabulous. So what is the Nourish to Flourish program? Well, it's an affordable, virtual, 12-week personal transformation. And I do mean transformation. It's very exciting to reset, reshape, renew, and discover the new you. It does result in a mental, biological, and physical metamorphosis. You will feel like a butterfly stretching her wings out of that cocoon and ready to take flight. We do see safe, rapid, and sustainable results every time. It's your choice. You could go back to the old ways, or you can use this lifestyle redesign to guide you into the next decade and beyond. Addressing and correcting the underlying issues of chronic dis-ease puts your doctor into a state of confusion, whilst you are off enjoying your life. You become a steward of your own health. You've seen these photographs before. There are many. It's very simple and it's very predictable. You will feel better. You will reshape. You will renew. It's a wonderful process. I enjoy coaching it. So you have two options. Well, you can choose option A, down the old road, or you can choose option number 2 and join us on the new path to wellness. If you continue the path you're on, what's that going to lead you to? People have come to me and they have spent thousands of dollars on other programs that did not work. They've had expensive lab testing done. They bought tons of supplements. They have a cupboard full of them, and they're still on medications. They continue gaining weight as the years go by, and they're feeling frustrated and stressed, and that time in their life is gone. They can't get that back. So option 2, join us. Join us on August 26th. Follow this proven system and enjoy the new you by Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving. That's the middle of October. I've been coaching since 2009, and I promise you, if you follow the structure that we lay out for you, you will see success. You will change your life. All right. So if you're ready to make a change, let's do it together. And here's what you can expect. In week 1, you'll have a lot more energy. You'll have released about 5 to 10 pounds, and you're probably going to be sleeping better. In week 2, your clothes are starting to loosen. Your body is starting to reshape. It happens quickly. Week 3 comes around, and many of your friends are noticing, complimenting you even. And by week 4, you have lost 15 to 20 pounds, just like Lori, Linda, Marina, and Chad. So take a moment and imagine what this would feel like. Also take a moment to imagine what your life would be like if you don't take any action. More weight, more pain. You can erase that all in 6 weeks' time. So if you have come to us on referral from DFC or Douglasdale Family Chiropractic, then simply call Shannon or Janet at DFC reception. You're welcome to email me with any questions. You'll have my email with this replay link. And if you have been referred by a friend or come to me because I have met you, then simply reply to this email and the replay link. You may sign up with the link I put in the email and register on the spot. I am here to be of service to you in any way you need. I am honored, and it is a pleasure to guide you as you reset, reshape, and renew. I'm so grateful you joined us today, and I thank you for your time.